This video has kindly been sponsored by CrowdScores, the app that allows you to chat with other fantasy football users and be notified of goals and assists from all your fantasy players. Download the app now using the link in the description.
Warning, this video contains team selection and captain choices which some viewers may find offensive.
Hey guys, and welcome back to FPL TV. With a long and gruelling international break behind us, let's very quickly skim through how my team performed in Game Week 12. In goal, Fabianski picked up a respectable 5 points, even without getting a clean sheet. He managed 6 saves away to Huddersfield, taking his total saves to 51 for the season, the second highest amount among goalkeepers. It was a much better performance from my defence this week, with them earning 20 points between 3 players. Wolves' Matt Doherty came close to further improving that tally, but unluckily his clean sheet was wiped out very late on away to Arsenal. Alexander-Arnold's 11 points was a nice surprise though, and this performance has seen many managers bring the defender back in, and even earned him a price rise. So for now, with him starting the last 3 games, perhaps that's one less headache I need to worry about in my squad. There wasn't too much to report from midfield, with 2 of my big hitters Hazard and Sterling letting me down. Mohamed Salah did manage to score though, but I guess that was expected at home to Fulham. It was nice to get the 16 points from him as my captain, but if we're honest, I think a lot of us hoped for a bit more in that fixture. So, we've gone from a good defence to an average midfield to an absolutely abysmal strike force, with all 3 of my forwards getting 2 points apiece. Pathetic. It was clear before the game week that Firmino had to leave my squad soon, but I simply couldn't bring myself to get rid before a home game against Fulham. During that game, Firmino was as deep as the halfway line at times and passing amongst the defenders. Frustrating stuff, and seemingly absolute daylight robbery at 9.2 million. So for Game Week 12, a total score this week of 58 before the break, 10 points more than the average score. Unspectacular, but also not too bad, and luckily it was just enough to see me finally get a green arrow. This saw me rise around 5,000 places to 66k overall. So let's move on to Game Week 13 now, check out my transfer plans, and see if I can build on this momentum. And as always, if you're enjoying the content here at FPL TV, be sure to drop a like and support the channel by getting subscribed. I'm yet to make any confirmed transfers, as the international break can always bring up some unexpected injuries. But here's the moves I'm planning to make, providing there's no other setbacks in my team. This season, I've now owned Roberto Firmino for games against West Ham, Palace, Brighton, Huddersfield, Cardiff and Fulham, all of which he's failed to score a single goal in. So unfortunately Bobby, time has run out for you in my team, and although it'll probably come back to bite me, I simply can't hold on any longer. With just 0.1 million in the bank though, I'm unable to upgrade the striker, so I'm actually considering to significantly downgrade him and use that money to switch to a 3-5-2 formation for Game Week 13. So as things stand, my proposed moves are Firmino and budget midfielder Masuaku out, with Jimenez and Richarlison coming in for a -4 hit. On the negative side, this does mean even more cash committed to my midfield, but with a very busy Christmas schedule of fixtures coming up, I'm hoping that having a flexible squad of 15 players can give me lots of rotation options during that time. As mentioned, these aren't confirmed transfers yet, but certainly the most likely moves I'm going to make. Let's now take a look at my potential lineup for Game Week 13, but be sure to follow the FPL TV Twitter page for any further updates and my final team selection. It's a very daunting week for my goalkeeper Fabianski, as he faces the deadly Man City in Game Week 13. Anything more than 2 points here would be a welcome surprise. As things stand, I'm considering to bench Alexander-Arnold this week away to Watford in what I believe could be a very difficult fixture. This means I'm thinking to double up on my Wolves defence as they face Huddersfield at home. Huddersfield have only managed to get 3 goals away from home this season, so if there's ever a time to double up on Wolves defence, this could be the game week to do it. Marcus Alonso will complete my defence, and although he's away to Spurs, let's not forget he scored 2 goals at Wembley in this derby last season, so more of the same please Marcus. It'll be just the second time this season that I play 5 in midfield, with potential new signing Richarlison having a very nice fixture at home to Cardiff. He heads into this one in decent form, and also scored for Brazil during the international break. My 3 big hitters will of course feature as well, as does Ryan Fraser at home to Arsenal. Playing 5 in midfield would mean just the 2 up front for Game Week 13, so Callum Wilson will probably get the nod, alongside my second potential signing Raul Jimenez. My two Bournemouth players, Wilson and Fraser, do have some very tough fixtures coming up, but I'll simply be hoping for a high-scoring attacking game against Arsenal before making any future decisions on them. Perhaps controversially, this team selection would mean benching Marko Arnautovic this game week, which right now is something I'm strongly leaning towards. Granted, it does feel strange having lots of cash on the bench this week, but he is facing Manchester City, a side who have only conceded 2 goals in 8 game weeks and 0 from open play. For any of you that currently own Arnautovic, get your votes into the poll attached to this video and let me know if you plan to play or bench the Austrian this game week. As for the captaincy, for now I've given the armband to Mo Salah this week, and with all my big hitters facing away fixtures, it's definitely a tough call to make. Notably, one of Salah's 2 international fixtures was cancelled during the break, so he's had 8 days rest before Watford and only played the 1 international, a game in which he scored in. He also boasts impressive numbers against Watford, bagging 5 goals and 2 assists in just the 2 games he faced them in last season. So that wraps up my team selection and transfers video for Game Week 13. As mentioned, this team isn't locked in yet, but I will post my final team selection shortly before the Game Week deadline over on Twitter. I wish you all the best for Game Week 13, FPL responsibly, and I'll catch you all soon.